Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. My name's Levi McCurdy, and this is episode 170. It's our Christmas episode, dude, and we're here. We're ready to go. We've got the tree lit. We've got the jersey on. We got the moose cup. We're ready to rock and roll, and we've got our official top 10 movie tier list ready to go for the holiday season. We'll get to that at the end of today's episode. But of course, to start off with just a little bit of housekeeping, some updates, some news. We have ended the backdrop saga. The new backdrop saga has ended with a few surprise twists at the end. Let me explain. First and foremost, the greatest news, not the most greatest, the greatest. Let me get my grammar proper for the entire episode. Let me try to keep it straight this week. The greatest news of all, we talked to Jeff's new wonderful fiancée, Mrs. Jeff, and she has brought him around. She has brought him around, and he is now on board. He loves, and I quote, "I fucking love it, Levi," with two exclamation points at the end. I'll make sure I want to get that quote right. That's exactly what it says. 2 exclamation points at the end. Jeff has been brought back around. He's sticking around. He's still on the team. We're going to keep him into 2025. Thank God Jeff came to his senses. And then we have our boy Los over, of course, at the 280 Plus podcast. Check that out this week. Just had a new guest back. He hasn't had a guest on in a few weeks, so he's got a guest back in on the call with him this week. Check that out. Los came through with the final KO zinger of them all. The backdrop looks exactly like the Roku screensaver, dude. Hey! With the zinger over at the 280 Plus podcast. Shout out to Los. It's good. It's too good. I texted him. It was too good of a comment. And to be honest with you, I'm surprised no one else had said it until then. So, I mean, kudos to you guys. Shout out to everyone for loving the new backdrop. I think we're going to keep it for a while. And then the last bit of housekeeping that I think we really need to get to is addressing the number one concern, okay? Over the last 3 years, this podcast, we're on episode 170 now. So we're we're going on for like the 4th year in a row with this podcast. Every week we're doing this thing. And so we've built this community now, okay? We've got people commenting on the clips and the episodes and the Spotifys and the iTunes and the subscription and everything. We've got so many things going. We've got our own little kind of community, and I hear you. The feedback comes in. I read and attempt to respond to. I'm pretty sure I got 100% covered. I respond to every single comment on this YouTube channel. And the number one thing is the button. Levi, the button makes my ears bleed. Levi, the button makes me shit. You gotta stop it with the button. Tastes like burnt coffee. I can't stand the button. The button smells like my wet dog. I can't stand it, bro. You gotta stop it here with the sound effects. If you press the button, how many times do I have to press it again? I can't stand it. The button, my whole face caused to destroy life on Earth. We have to hear it one more time. One more time. That's it. No more Christmas gifts for the kids. One comment said, the button could only save us from the button. I can't stand the button. The button is hatred. I can't stand both of these 4 people now that we stopped pressing the button. And soot and dirt, and there's just grime and dog. Every time you hit the button, I hit the button. My ears getting so tired of it, and I think destroys life on Earth. Not like having more. So please stop pressing the button. Every time you hit the button, I hit the dog and destroy life on Earth. This last comment that we have here, if you ever press the button again, I will find out where you live, break into your house, drown your dog LuBug in the bathroom sink for you to only wake up to his wet, unresponsive body the morning of Christmas, when your son and family should be the happiest, your most prized and cherished family pet will no longer be with you, and you'll have to find him and explain to your family and your son on Christmas morning that this happened because someone broke in after I pressed the button on episode 168 of the podcast 17 times too many. And then that's why they had to find out where we live, break into the house, unalive the Frenchie, the Bulldog, LuBug, the poor innocent creature, and for only us to find him on Christmas morning only because I pressed the button 18 times in 13 minutes. And with all that being said, I hear you. Okay? I hear your concerns. I hear you loud and clear, which is why I've talked to and consolidated. I've talked to Jeff, I've talked to Paul, I've talked to Justin, I've talked to Megs, I've talked to my son, I've talked to everybody in my life. I've asked them, what should we do? Here's all the comments. Read these. What should I do about the button situation? And so we all got on a Zoom call together. I talked to all of them individually. We texted about it. I talked to my therapist. Like, this whole situation for the last, I don't know how many weeks, 4, 5, 6 weeks now, 7 or 8 weeks, that we've introduced this new kind of sound effect of a button that everyone just seemingly seems to kind of sort of hate. And so what we have decided as a group, my family, my closest friends, my business partners, my advisor, the people I pay, the people with actually my friends Carlos, 280 plus, we've all decided and we've come up with one solution. It was a unanimous. We took a vote. We could have gone one way. We could have gone the other way. But we all decided that for the best of the podcast, the community, the subscribers, the channel, everything that we've built thus far, if we want it to continue to grow, if we want to continue to have listeners and new people come in and enjoy the clips and the episodes from week to week, I mean, the only reason we're getting the dislikes and the downvotes and the negative comments is because seemingly this button. So what we have all decided on is one thing and one thing only, and that is going into 2025, what we had prior was just a single button to play the sound clip. And so that has been removed from the soundboard. And instead, what we have now is the same button, but 4 times.
What are we doing? 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 What are we doing?
I'm like the guy at the orchestra. Hey, I'm like Justin Bieber in that one clip where he's like, hey, you come in hard. You come in soft violin, go like this, da, 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 go like this, da, da, da. And I'm like,
what are we doing? What are we doing?
I'm like, da, 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 do this.
What are we doing?
Do this, da, da, da. I'm like Justin Bieber conducting a goddamn orchestra.
What are we doing?
This is the only way to move forward. It's what the people want. It's what we have got, the message we have read between all the lines and gotten it loud and clear. My friends and family agree that the best way to move forward, now we have more. We can amplify this times 2 again. So if you thought 4 was not enough, let me know in the comments below again. And we can make it 8, so I can just have 8 of the same button.
What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
So let me know. And if going into 2025, we can add 6 or we could do 8 total. And I think I have a whole nother page. We could add another 8 to the soundboard to play all at the same time. And so it's kind of like, we're not really ripping it off, but now that we kind of think about it in retrospect, we kind of are. But consider it's kind of the same thing. You know how all of you like love and accept and Jimmy Fallon, and now Mr. Beast's best friend, Hassan, like everybody, all the actual people on the internet and of society that give a shit, love, and are best friends with now the Costco family. And so it's kind of like their thing. It's like, oh, we got to give this double chunk chocolate cookie 3 big booms. So like now what I can do is I can start ranking things on a scale of 1 to 4 big booms. And if something, say, is like a 3 out of 4 booms, we can do a boom.
What are we doing?
That's 3 big booms for the Wad Pod. You know what I mean? So we've taken all that, and that's pretty much what we've come up with for the holiday season. Consider it our gift to you, the people, the audience. You're going to be hearing 4 times as much of that button moving forward in every episode. And so that we're pretty proud of that. We came up with that just a mere few minutes. I told everybody, cast your votes. And then they did. And that was pretty much the unanimous one. Fucking Uncle Jerry was the only one who voted against it because he, like, for whatever reason, says the button's toxic. I don't know. I don't understand what that means. But he voted no. Everyone voted yes. And so now we've got the 4P. And we're giving that vote 4 big booms. Well, folks, good news, okay? We thought it might be some form of the first time that we've ever heard of the term crypto coma.
What are we doing?
Haley Welch has woken up. It's been, I think it was either, 13 days? It's been 13 or 14 days that she's been in a very heavily, what may or may not have been medically sedated, what potentially we're calling the very first crypto coma. Haley Welch's Hawk to a meme coin crashed and tanked so hard, it sent Haley Welch into a crypto coma. Now, we have never heard of this term or this thing to happen before, but basically the term is now coined. Get it? Meme coin, crypto. The term is coined. It was a crypto coma. And if we were going to see something like this for the first time, I mean, you would have thought maybe like Jake or Logan Paul might have been in one, but they've seemingly been awake and on the up and up ever since all of their crypto pump and dump illegal scams have inevitably lost all of their fans thousands upon thousands of dollars. Crypto Zoo, Dink Doink, Jake Paul and his NFTs, I'm sure at some point he's had. It's all the same. And so the same advisors that gave them the green light to do all that shit gave Haley the green light to do her thing. Unfortunately, what they weren't expecting is that it was kind of this kind of winter time, October, November, December time. It's cold out. People's immune systems are already low. And boom, bam, one illegal rug pull later, and Haley Welch slips right into a crypto coma.
What are we doing?
Now, of course, you'll remember this, right? You'll remember her saying
let's
this.
be clear, like all of us, as much as we can say it's experimental, like we all run, like I run a business as well. And I have operational costs.
We're explaining
cool
why
when, like, for example,
this happened and the rug pull happened, and they're
for
trying
example,
to excuse themselves for
afford me
stealing
to
millions
go
of dollars.
Fly somewhere internationally first class, for example. I'm just using this as an example. So there's like an incentive for someone who's like operating a business
Yada yada.
to basically like have a successful operation that's going. So I'm sort of curious, like not for the token price itself, but just in terms of the fact that there's fees that are being generated, there's an actual like
Hey
source
guys,
of income.
I hate to interrupt you, Nick. Hello there. But anywho, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay. For I guess we're talking.
What are we doing?
We love her. We love Haley Welch. That was 15 days ago. That was 2 weeks ago. And we haven't heard from her since. Since she went to bed that evening on December 5th, we haven't heard from her. There's been no Talk to a Tuesday podcast episodes. There's been no tweets, no nothing. It's just all been speculation. We don't know. And so what we can only assume is that she's been asleep this entire time in what we are deeming the first crypto coma. And now, thank God, now we don't have actual physical evidence that she's awake. But if you would take the evidence of an all-new tweet from the official verified Haley Welch Twitter account, then that could potentially be classified as the evidence you need for her to still be alive. So if that is in fact the case, then, well, hey, thank goodness. We're glad it's not a permanent. We're glad she's awake. We're glad everything is seemingly okay. And we're glad that she's back, logged in, and in charge of assumingly her own Twitter account. And it wasn't just, I don't know, maybe the Better Team or Jake Paul posting this tweet from her account just to kind of tone down all of the shouting about the lawyers and everything else. But the tweet reads now, today, on December 20th, just this morning, a few hours ago, it says, from Haley Welch, I take this situation extremely seriously and want to address my fans, the investors who have been affected, and the broader community. I am fully cooperating with and am committed to assisting the legal team representing the individuals impacted, as well as to help uncover the truth, hold the responsible parties accountable, and resolve this matter. If you have experienced losses related to this, please contact Burwick Law using the link below, burwick.law/new client at Burwick Law, presumably the leader in digital consumer protection. Lose money in crypto? Sign up today at burwick.law/new client. Not sponsored, but hey, if you want to send us a PayPal request, we'll take the standard podcast fee. Shout out to Burwick Law. If you were affected by the Haley Welch pump and dump crypto scheme or any other crypto zoo, crypto token pump and dump influencer scam this year and or currently now happening, go to burwick.law, not .com, dude. It's 2024, burwick.law/new client. Submit your claim today, and they will help get you the best representation when it comes to influencer crypto scams and pump and dump crypto schemes.
What are we doing?
So, but thank goodness Haley Welch is awake and she's back and ready to go and to take accountability. So we're still following along that 15-day, that 2 weeks, man. Listen, I could have sworn she called it quits. I would have sworn she would have came back and announced that she broke her contract and she's moving back home. Dare we forget this star-studded celebrity guest, Jake Paul fueled, Better.com, Better Picks, sponsored podcast, Talk to Her, started out. Episodes like 1 through 3 were just her sitting on the porch swing in Louisiana or Tennessee, wherever she used to live, with her friends, with an iPhone and some clip-on mics that they got for $5 from the TikTok shop. And that's why we all kind of sort of gave it a chance / fell in love with it. It was this genuine hometown, I'm not signing on the dotted line type of episode that we got every week. Now, were all 3 of those episodes just a retelling of the how'd you get famous? Tell us the Hawk to a story from your perspective, Brittany. How did it make you feel, Jessica? How did it make you feel, Haley? Tell us the whole thing. What about the guys? They're douchebags. You're not going to thank them? No, I told them not to post it, but now I'm rich and famous, so what are you going to do, you know? Pookie, bring me another spritzer. Pookie, bring me a spritzer. And that's all it was from their front porch. And so now that we're in studio in LA, Miami, Texas, wherever Jake Paul has them hostage in whatever type of studio situation they find themselves in, now it's Whitney Cummings and Josh Richards and Wiz Khalifa and all the other celebrities and influencers. But when you get blamed by average, everyday people, the people who made you, the people who rose you up, the people who gave you your fame and virality, when they then trusted you. Now, we're not saying we should have. Listen, did we lose $400,000 in the hawk to a meme coin? Yes. Did I spend every penny we've ever had or made in every single account and credit card and cashed them all out and took out loans on the house and put it all in because I thought, if I put 400 grand in, I'm going to get out 3.6 million.
What are we doing?
And I was 19 minutes too late. And so that happened. So we're a little pissy. Did we call Burewick.law and go to Burewick.law/new client? We sure absolutely did. We'll be talking with them for 6 hours right after we record this episode. So as you can imagine, you know what I mean? I thought she called it quits. If she would have came out, what would have been a ballsier move is if Haley Welch would have came out and said, I left better, I moved back home, me and Chelsea or whatever her best friend's sidecar character's name is, they move back, they get an apartment together, and they just become TikTokers, and they do their own thing, and that they get their own sponsors, and they start their own genuine in the apartment podcast that has nothing to do with Jake Paul and the Better Company, and you bring it back to roots, and that's how you recover from this. You break away from all of the bad toxic energy, and you make something new, but also the same of it. You know what I mean? Restart, refresh, move back to the home state, drop the contract, do whatever you need to do to get out of the contract, say they steered you wrong, make Jake Paul go to court, and then he'll just say, okay, fine, I don't want to worry about it, just drop it, let her go. Breach of contract, we'll consider it null and void, see you later. And then go do your own thing. Be independent, and guess what? If you're lucky, just like Grace O'Malley, maybe Alex Cooper and Call Her Daddy will pick you up.
What are we doing?
Maybe you'll be so unwell that Alex Cooper will pick you up. Maybe, if you're lucky like Grace O'Malley, is the Dave Portnoy video inevitable? Has it dropped yet? It's probably already dropped, and I just haven't been on. I'm so off of social media now, it's ridiculous. I don't have Facebook on my phone anymore. I don't have Snapchat hardly. It's on my old phone. It's I'm so done with social media, so I might have already missed it. But if we haven't seen yet, it's inevitable that within the next, 24 to 72 hours, you'll see a Dave Portnoy video going, yeah, am I upset that Grace left Barstool and went to Unwell with Alex Cooper? No. Did I see this coming? Of course. I saw it 100 miles away. And by the way, we propped up Alex Cooper. And by the way, we know we still do the we think Alex Cooper and Call Her Daddy, and we build them up. And this is what Barstool does. We create these people on these platforms, and we build them up so that they can go and spread their wings. Grace wanted to be a stand-up comedian, and we all knew that, so we let her go at Barstool. But clearly, she wanted to do a podcast a little bit more, and that's why she's on Unwell. Am I mad? Am I upset? No, of course not. Because I got $100 million that I share with my wife, and they won't let me divorce her. They won't legally let me divorce her because I have too much money.
What are we doing?
And so that's what the video from Daddy Presidente Dave Portnoy will say. But what we really want him to say is, hey, what you all knew it was happening. That's why we're ending BFFs, because we're not BFFs anymore. We're FBFs, because me and Brianna Chicken Fry have been dating for 6 months.
What are we doing?
I held her close in my arms when she was crying over Zach Bryant. We have this connection, work, personal, emotional, physical. And so basically, I've been dating and living with and funding Brianna's life for the last, how long has it been, babe? 6 months now. That's why we said, fuck it. Don't take the money. Don't take the money from Zach. Don't take the bribe money. I got you. I wrote her a check for $10 million. We took care of it. No problem.
What are we doing?
And so what we really want is for Dave and Bree to just announce their relationship. We want to give Grace her flowers for 100% appropriately navigating her way out of her Barstool contract, scot-free, and then boom, in a left hook, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson jab, she goes and signs with Unwell, jumps out of an airplane, and gets probably an even bigger bag than Portnoy was offering.
What are we doing?
So, I mean, shout out to them, and thank God Haley's awake. She'll be hearing from our lawyers soon. Listen, Luigi, we got him out. We got him out of Pennsylvania. He's in New York. Luigi Maniscalco. I'm going to give him a different last name every time I say his first name, just because that's how much of a piece of shit he is. But listen, we're on his side. Okay, well, I understand the tyranny of the power of the healthcare companies. Was there a level of but no, someone's dead, and unfortunately, the man has a family, so you have to kind of sort of feel a little bit bad. But also, I get it from both sides. You know me; they call me daddy's always in the middle. Okay. That's how I am with the election. That's how I am with politics. That's how I am on this case. I'm in the middle. Both sides are kind of both messed up in the head. And so Luigi's in New York. We've got him there. And boy, did we take every ounce and every piece of energy that we could find yesterday morning to parade this man through New York City. As soon as he got off the plane, as soon as they're walking him down the street, like it's the Macy's Christmas morning, the Macy's Christmas Day parade, starring the one and only Luigi Maniscalco.
What are we doing?
And so we've got CNN all over it. Here we go.
Here over the rotors of the helicopter. Talk to us about what you're seeing now and just the scale of the law enforcement presence there.
Yeah, like I said, I've never seen anything like this, Boris, to be quite honest with you. There are just
never seen anything like this. Keep in mind, the man in the orange jumpsuit, Luigi Mancino, Cherry, has only allegedly, and hasn't been proven guilty yet, killed one man.
What are we doing?
He shot one guy. And so we don't parade and have this many police, and the mayor's there, Eric Adams. Isn't he on trial? Is he just marching to his trial too? They're just going to knock out Mayor Adams and Luigi all at the same time? Like, is that the situation? Because I'm pretty sure, isn't he in trouble too? So, like, we've got enough manpower to start a small, like, governmental insurrection. Like, we had a smaller team to take out Osama bin Laden, that enough people are surrounding Luigi as if he's public enemy number one. We have such to make the biggest statement to let them know that we have the biggest balls and that the New York City Police Department is not scared of terrorists like Luigi Melancholy. And so it is just one of those situations where we've got, it's straight out of the Superman movies, right? It's straight, we've got a police surrounding, how many police officers are here, man?
Very clear.
How many? Let's count them out.
Walk from the helicopter all the way down that pier to that Sprinter van, which he just got into. While he's shackled, they clearly want the photo opportunity to show.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and that's just who's in frame. I don't think we can see the mayor here. That's 15. There's probably at least 25 to 35 men with guns surrounding this man during this entire interaction.
What are we doing?
And let's just, hey, by the way, let's be 100%. All of these NYPD police officers, FBI agents, detectives, special police force officers, whoever's there, the mayor, all of them combined have killed way more people than Luigi Melancholy.
What are we doing?
You know? So we're making this man look like the coolest celebrity. I mean, this is Taylor Swift level security, and she's a freaking sweetheart.
What they believe, they got their guy. I mean, that's what it really feels like, because that was like a long perp walk, as we would call it.
Oh, imagine that. They believe they've got their guy.
in that Sprinter van. He will travel to a federal building where he will be federally processed. I also
Here over the rotors of the helicopter.
Federally processed for the unaliving of the United Care. I mean, look at his face. It's just the man. The man is so photogenic. The man is so photogenic. He knows when they're clicking, and he knows how to serve the face, dude. He's got the Riz face 100%.
What are we doing?
It's like this with a lot of zeros behind it because it's 1,000% perfected. The Rizzler stole the Riz face from Luigi Macaroni.
What are we doing?
So, I mean, we're trotting him. We're trotting him through New York City. We've got security surrounding him the entire way. It's giving us Superman vibes. And of course, what better way to topple him arriving in New York City than the man, the mayor, the governor, the president of New York City and the United States himself, Donald effing Trump. I'm pretty sure, did he just change his middle name to effing? I'm pretty sure he did.
What are we doing?
And so we need his opinion, and let's get that immediately. What is
Healthcare shooting, the
I think
shooting of the
it's
CEO. Can you give us your thoughts about that? And what do you make of the reaction
I think
around
it's
the
terrible.
suspected shooter? Does that tell you anything about how people
I think
about
it's a
healthcare?
terrible thing. I think it's really terrible that some people seem to admire him, like him.
Trump doesn't like him.
I was happy to see that it wasn't specific to this gentleman that was killed. It's just an overall sickness as opposed to a specific sickness.
Sure.
That was a terrible thing. It was cold-blooded, just a cold-blooded, horrible killing. And how people can like this guy is, that's a sickness, actually. That's really very bad. Especially...
If you want to say boom, boom, let me hear you say hey-oh, well, boom, boom, let me hear you say hey-oh, well. Donald Trump coming with the slam. If you like him, if you've ever tweeted, yo, Luigi Macaroni, sit on my face.
What are we doing?
I know I have. You're sick too. You're just as sick as he is. You are just as capable of going to your brother-in-law and say, hey, I know you got the parts. Send them to me individually. Send me a text message on phase 1, text message on step 2, an email of step 3, and a Facebook message on step 4 so they can't trace them all and put them together when they're watching us from the FBI van parked outside your house, and give me the parts I need to make the ghost gun. And let's go, because I'm just as sick. You're just as sick as Luigi Maniscotti, dude. I mean, this guy's sick. You're sick for liking him. And Trump says so that means it's true. If Trump says it, it must be true. Am I right? Yes or yes?
The way it was done, it was so bad, right in the back. And
like a pussy.
Very bad, thing like that. You can't believe that some people, and maybe it's fake news. I don't know. It's hard to believe that that can even be thought of. But it seems that there's a certain appetite for him. I don't get it. Yeah,
I don't get it, dude, and neither does Donald Trump. So, listen, I'm going. I need to be there. I need to see him. I'm going to the hotel. I'm going to the courthouse. I'm going to the Arkham Asylum where they're keeping this boy.
What are we doing?
Because if I can not only knock one thing off my bucket list, I can knock 3 at a time. Listen to me. The same jail they're keeping Luigi in is the same jail we've got Mr. P. Sean Diddy Combs. It's the same jail that we've got Sam Bankman-Fried. Now, a couple things to note on that fun of a fucking fact. FFF, hashtag FFF time. It's time for your fun fucking fact of the episode.
What are we doing?
Diddy's lawyer is married to Luigi's lawyer. So with the two married lawyers representing Luigi Mariani and Sam Bankman-Fried, and Sam Bankman-Fried's lawyer is just some idiot who's not married to anybody, but It's fine with them together, married as a power couple with Diddy, Luigi, and Sam Bankman-Fried. New York City is quickly becoming Gotham with, like, you know, one of the villains as mayor and 3 of their villains are locked up in the Arkham Asylum, dude. I mean, we've got the freaking Joker, the Riddler, and the effing Penguin.
What are we doing?
Sam Bankman-Fried's a penguin because he's a little on the chunkier side. Riddler's the diddler, that's Diddy. And the Joker with the money in the bag and the Monopoly money. It's the whole thing. The whole thing's a gag. I'm telling you, watch this case. Watch this case get dismissed. First and foremost, the case isn't happening until maybe later next year. And guess who's going to forget about it? You and everyone else. And then it might come up a little bit in the headlines. It might come up just a little bit more. But it's kind of going to be one of those probably a wash of a thing. And we're just going to kind of let Diddy and Sam Bankman-Fried let them rot in jail while the price of Bitcoin and all of its friends in crypto are going on the up and up. Going on the up. Every day it's Bitcoin. It's at 103 grand. It's at 104. It's at 105. It's at 107. I think yesterday it hit 108, I think, and then it tanked down to like 96, 97. I'm on it like a hawk because I feel like I'm missing out.
What are we doing?
And so I just feel like I need to be back in the crypto game because it's getting a little too hot in the space, if you know what I mean. And so we're parading him around. We still don't know. Okay, we still don't know if he did it. Here's a question. I don't know anything about guns. I've only shot like maybe 1 or 2 in my life. Couldn't tell you anything about them. But can you get ballistics and can you run like prints and or like match things to a unkilling case with a 3D printed ghost gun? Is that a thing that, like, they can do at the FBI and New York City Police Department?
What are we doing?
Can we trace that? Like, how can we prove that this 3D printed bullet didn't come from a 3D printed gun from the printer my neighbor has, the printer the guy you know has one, your brother-in-law has 3 of them. Like, there's everyone... 3D printers are like just as common as, I don't know, drones these days. So like how can we prove that like those bullets were printed and used and were they 3D printed bullets too? Like how much of the gun? I don't know. I'm confused and I want to know what's going to happen with this case. We're parading him around New York City like a Batman villain. Meanwhile, do they have any evidence? I don't think they do. And so we've got them all locked up in the same New York City prison. God forbid something happen and they all get out. You know, like a Batman situation. You know what I mean? So we're going in about 48 hours. I'll be in New York. I'll be in New York City. I'm staying like 2 minutes away, 3 or 4, 5 minute walk away from Times Square. We're going to be right there. We're going to be in the city. We're going to be in the thick of it. And we've got so many things to do. And I've only got like 24 hours to do it. So we're going to be reporting on the trial. We're going to be going to the crime scene. We're going to be looking for evidence. We're going to go to Central Park. We're going to try to find the bike where they found the book bag. We're going to retrace Luigi's steps. We have to come back to Pennsylvania anyway, so we'll make then a pit stop to the Altoona McDonald's, and we're going to crack this case in 24 hours. By 2025, this podcast may or may not be a true crime podcast where we solve the United Healthcare CEO unaliving case before we actually get to the trial. So be on the lookout for that. Me and a few of the family members, we're going to New York City here over the weekend, and we're headed there, and we're ready to work, and we're putting it in. We're going to get pictures, we're going to take photos, evidence, we're going to collect everything, samples. We're going to talk to people. We're going to interview his friends. We got like 6 interviews lined up. We're going to Starbucks. We're going to go see the Christmas tree in Times Square. And I'm doing my very best to convince my family that we need to go to the Times Square, New York City, Olive Garden, and sit at the same table Jimmy Fallon and Post Malone sat at that one time. okay? That's all I want to do while I'm there. I've got a few personal things to do, and then we've got a few business things to take care of while we're there in efforts to potentially, like I said, in the middle, potentially clear and or crack the case or clear the name of Luigi Manisconi Ranaboni. Okay, and if that isn't his new name after this is all said and done, once he's acquitted of all charges and he needs to change his name because he can't get a job anywhere, like Hollister, Abercrombie and Fitch won't hire him, Nike won't sponsor him, like it's not a thing. He like the only thing he can get is like a toothpaste commercial.
What are we doing?
He's got a real pretty smile, so I'm sure he'll at least get one toothpaste commercial and maybe like a For Him sponsorship. But other than that, I don't think he's got much coming for him. So, like, you know, changing his last name to Luigi Macaboni Ramaroni will throw people off the scent of, like, when they're like, hey, weren't you that one guy? Can we have you work here? Were you ever on trial for murder? Are you sure you look like that one guy? And he's like, no, my last name's Macaroni Bamboni, not Luigi Manisconi. You know what I mean?
What are we doing?
And so we're going to dig up the case. We're going to see if we can get a photo with Sam Bankman-Fried and Diddy. And hear me out. By the way, don't let Luigi get wind. If you let Luigi get wind that Diddy and Sam Bankman-Fried were billionaires, he's coming. He'll get you. He'll get one of his Italian friends to make him or get him a shank or a weapon or something or poison or something. And he's going to get Sam Bankman-Fried. He's going to shiv Diddy while they're sleeping.
What are we doing?
If Luigi Maniscotto finds out that he's got 2 billionaires in the same mess hall as him, it's not going to be good for them. He's going to want to take justice into his own hands and do us all a favor. I can see it now. The headlines quote Luigi Macaroni saying, I did it for the American people, as he shanks P. Diddy 37 times and slits the throat of Sam Bankman-Fried.
What are we doing?
I'm just saying, if Luigi wanted to make yet another statement and a more prominent name for himself, if he wants to take his podcast from number 10 to number 1 and be anything that Joe Rogan or Alex Cooper or us or whatever other celebrity with a podcast that's on the top charts right now, talk to her, but not since she's put an episode out in 2 weeks.
What are we doing?
Hey, Haley, if you need a guest, let me know. Maybe that's it. Maybe she wasn't sleeping. Maybe they're having trouble finding guests. I'll be a guest, babe. Hit me up, Haley. You know my Twitter. I've already DM'd you 10 times because, you know, what's up? Hey, what's up? But also, I'll be a guest. What's up? You know what I mean? But basically, I think if he wanted to go from number 10 to number 1 of all time, I think he would need to do America at least not a, residual favor. I mean, we don't really give a shit about Sam Bankman-Fried anymore, but did he? You know what I mean? Did he?
What are we doing?
Question mark is the question. So you got to take it one way or the other. We'll see what Luigi does. And when I'm in New York on the ground here in about 48-ish hours, we're heading out. We're going to New York City, and we're going to figure out what happened, and we're going to report on it every step of the way. So follow us on Instagram. Make sure you're over there on Facebook, everywhere else, the podcast. You're going to want to tune in next week. I'm going to be posting updates, probably some personal stories or clips going up on the channel. Be on the lookout for that. More Luigi Maniscotto, Boombody, Roomgotti footage and evidence and conspiracy theories and everything else. We're turning into a true crime podcast probably by the end of this year because we can't take these numbers are just, they're not good, and we need a niche, and it might as well be the true crime idiots of America. And we're starting with Luigi Mancini.
What are we doing?
Listen, the drones are still out there. They're still flying around. They're moving east. They're in New York. They're in Pennsylvania. They're in Ohio now. They're still in New Jersey. Drones everywhere. We've got close-up footage of them. They look like drones. They're shooting laser beams at people. Hey, they're drones. They look like regular drones. Hey, they're probably drones. Who said they're aliens? Was it me? Did I say that? Is there a clip of me saying the drones over New Jersey were aliens? I didn't say that, did I?
What are we doing?
I don't think I said that. I don't think anyone can prove that I said the drones over New Jersey were, in fact, aliens not of this world. I didn't say that. Apparently the White House did, but it was debunked. It was just a community note on Twitter. No one ever said that. They're not aliens. We've seen photos of them. I think they're just drones. Now, if you ask anyone other than an official in New Jersey, here's I need to know what's in the water over in New Jersey, okay? Because we not only have the governor of New Jersey saying it's an Iran warship. There's an Iran mothership off the coast of New Jersey launching enemy combatant drones into the cities of the East Coast of the United States in order to either scan for a missing nuclear warhead and or shut down our infrastructure, our security, and our overall well-being, the water, the power, the sewer, the cell towers, everything. It's all on electric. They're going to put enough drones on the East Coast, because that's where all of our electric, all of our PP&L, our nuclear powers on the East Coast. So they deploy all these drones, and then they have a mesh network. And they have a mesh network of drones over the entire East Coast. And with one click of a button, the entire network then sends out an EMP shockwave, taking out all the cell towers, all of our power, all of our utilities, all of our water, everything we control, everything will be offline. Society will most likely very, very quickly collapse, go into mass chaos. All of the people you know with weapons and guns will be loading up as much ammunition in their pockets and their guns and their book bags, duffel bags in the cars, and prep for this situation. All of those people, all of your relatives who have the weapons in their glove box, in the car, on their hip, under their bed, in the closet, in the cabinet, in the safe, under the house, they're going to go get them, and it's going to be all-out anarchy. If they take out the network, that's it. We're done. So be on the lookout. Stay inside. If you see a drone, shoot it down. Whether you think it's an airplane, whether you think it's a man-craft being drone, if you think there's a person in there, if you think it's just a regular drone like a DJI, like all of them are, or whatever you think it might be in the sky with lights on it, just keep shooting at it. Get your gun out and start shooting at any drone, whether you see it over the sky, over a wedding venue, over the city, over any location, a farm, a house. Protect yourselves at all costs. And if we shoot enough of them down, it'll disrupt the mesh network that Iran and the mothership off the East Coast. The government says it's not there because they can't actually see it, because it's using advanced cloaking technology that China and Japan already have. So of course they sold it to Iran to launch the first attack against the United States in the official start of World War III. We need to stay inside, folks. Stay inside. But if you have a weapon, whether it's automatic, semi-automatic, a 3D printed one, and if you have 3D printers, start printing them. Start printing the bump stocks we need to turn the semi-automatics into automatics. Start printing everything. We're going to need ammo. We're going to need supplies. If we can take down enough drones, we can disrupt the mesh network, and their plan will probably not work. And if we take down even more drones, it'll probably affect the cloak that they're using. Listen, they're probably using the same technology that Mr. Carver in James Bond 007 Tomorrow Never Dies used to cloak his warship in order to start World War III with North Korea and the missiles, and you can't see our ship, so it must be Japan who's attacking you. And then boom, they have the headlines because they created, you know what I mean? So they're probably using that same cloaking technology to cover themselves in the middle of the ocean off the East Coast with the drones. and we need to disrupt their mesh network, and that's the only way we're going to save ourselves. If we want to save America, if you want to save the lives of your family, if you want to save the lives of everyone you know, your employers, your boss, your friends, your family, you need to help us take the drones down. If you have a weapon, continuously keep shooting the drones down. Please and thank you from those of us who don't have our gun license, for those of us who can't either legally own one or just don't want one or are uncomfortable with having one in the house around the kids. Thank you. I'm thanking you for your service. I'm thanking you for your ammunition. Shoot them down, please. Help me, and I'll help you with other things in the future. Thank you for saving us from the Iranian mothership that's off the coast with the mesh network. They're coming for us. Stay on the lookout, folks. Stay safe and stay blessed, America.
What are we doing?
But that's what I'm talking about. I mean, you've got Senator Doug Mastriano, okay? These M last names, these Italian M last names, okay? I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure I don't think I might be of some sort of Italian descent, but if I am, fuck it. I'm done with the M Italian last names. Dude, I can't pronounce any of them. I'm sorry. It's a me issue, not a you thing. Don't change you, boo. It's not you. It's me. But I'm telling you it's me, and it kind of pisses me off.
What are we doing?
We've got Senator Doug Mastriano, QAnon-adjacent Pennsylvania politician Doug Mastriano, to be more specific, bitching about the drones. He says, and I quote, "It is inconceivable that the federal government has no answers, nor has taken any action to get to the bottom of the unidentified drones." The fecklessness of the administration was on display last year when a Chinese surveillance balloon was allowed to fly over the entire continental United States before being shot down. Such should be viewed as a threat to our nation and citizens, and action is long overdue. We have resources and assets in our arsenal to get answers. But I suppose Ukraine is more important to the White House. January 20th cannot come soon enough. Hashtag MAGA, hashtag hoorah!
What are we doing?
All right, I added the last two. He didn't put any hashtags. I added those two in, but every other word I said was 100% accurate, and then it was followed by a photo of a fake news report. He posted this photo, breaking news, a crashed drone in Orange Beach retrieved from the water and taken to an undisclosed location for further investigation. Look at this. Look at this clearly manned, extra wide load of a drone that they found in Orange Beach, retrieved out of the water, shot down from a local probably. Thank you for shooting what looks like something a stormtrooper would fly around, but that's just me.
What are we doing?
Idiots. They're all idiots. Every single one of them. The president of FedEx has as much power and as many friends as the president of the United States. They're all silly goose games, and they all think that the reckoning, the change of regime, yeah, it's going to fix some things, and it's going to make some things worse, and it's going to make this better, but not really, and it's going to take 4 years to see the effect and change of what the last administration does, and it happens every single time we get a new round of people in the White House once Trump's done loading the cabinet with Elon Musk, his billionaire friends, and everyone else we know. Hey, man, I'm telling you what, if RFK Jr. makes Smucker's Uncrustables illegal in this country, we're outie 5,000.
What are we doing?
I'm going to Costco. I'm buying the lot. I'm getting a truck. I'm getting a full-blown, biggest U-Haul they have on the block. I'm going to every single location, and I'm buying every single frozen peanut butter and jelly sandwich, peanut butter and banana, peanut butter strawberry, whatever flavors of Uncrustables they have. And mark my words, it's going to be a freaking problem for the Republicans. If JFK Jr., if RFK Jr. thinks he's going to come in and clean up the food, great, dude. Hey, give us all the same shit Just require them to put actual ingredients and healthy shit in the shit.
What are we doing?
Just make Smuckers, by law, have to put healthy, all-natural ingredients in the damn sandwich, bro. Just make them comply with the new rules. You don't have to 100% outlaw the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, do you?
What are we doing?
You don't see us bitching about the peanut butter sandwiches, do you?
What are we doing?
Get rid of the red 40 food dye that's turning all of our kids autistic. Get rid of that.
What are we doing?
But you don't gotta get rid of the peanut butter jellies, baby, do you? Come on, RFK Jr. Hey, RFK Jr., getting rid of and making Smucker's Uncrustable peanut butter sandwiches illegal in the United States gets 0 big booms. You know what I mean? But in your case, we're going to make it super annoying as fuck. So it's 12 big booms.
What are we doing? 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 What are we doing?
You know what I mean? Don't make the peanut butter sandwiches illegal. Just make it so that, like, having 3 rats in the batch of Uncrustables isn't legal in this country. Make it so that 48 ounces of rat shit can't go in the Hershey's chocolate every other batch, and make the ingredients all natural and not these, like, fake sweeteners and sugar-free bullshit, alternative, cancer-causing. Just take out the cancer. Make the cancerous shit, the cheap shit that makes it all cancerous. Get rid of that. And then just let us keep the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You know what I mean?
What are we doing?
Oh, we've got politicians, senators. We've got senators of states. We've got senators of states that we live in, posting photos of what they believe to be the drones over New Jersey. It's a Star Wars trooper. And I mean, we need Trump's. We need to go one more time. I know. We already did, but we need to know one more time exactly what to do and exactly what these things are. And the only person that can tell us that is Zaddy Mother Effing Trumpets. Did he change his middle name again? Is Zaddy Trumpets, baby. He'll tell us what's going on.
Can you comment on the drones that are flying
Listen
around
to this.
New Jersey and ports? It seems like the American people have a big disconnect.
The government knows what is happening.
That's it. We got it. That's the official
What
word.
are we doing?
Biden and the government knows what's happening. They're lying to us. They said they didn't know. That's red flag number 1. We're moving out.
Look, our military knows where they took off from.
That's it.
If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is.
Wow.
Our military knows and our president knows.
Wow.
And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out.
Right.
Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should, because the people are really, I mean, they happen to be over Bedminster.
We
Want to
should
know the
be down.
truth?
What?
They're very close to
Wait,
Bedminster.
wait.
I think maybe I won't spend the
Wait.
weekend in Bedminster.
I've
decided to cancel my trip.
Listen to
have you
this.
received an intelligence briefing on the drones?
I don't want to comment on that.
Have you?
What are we doing?
She said, have you received an intelligence briefing on the drones? And he says, I don't want to comment. That's the end of the video. And so Trump knows what they are. He knows the government knows what they are. So the question is, we know what they are. Listen, I asked Paul. Paul says, hey, they're drones. They're drones. It's drones. Everyone has a DJI drone. Everyone knows what they look like. We have photos of what they look like. Now, are the things on top of the drone shooting lasers everywhere? I don't know. I don't think anyone knows what that is. But we know what drones look like, and they're just drones. They don't look like this. They don't look like the Roku screensaver do, but they look like DJI drones. And so what I think Joe Rogan said it best: if it is knowledge or a matter of public safety or information that like is out of this world, I think the public deserves to know. Let me know what you think in the comments below of the drones, dude. I mean, I guess it's just going to keep happening. I don't know if we're going to know, and we're probably not ever going to have any answers. It's going to be just like the weather balloon. It's going to come. It's going to go. Eventually, all these drones are going to go away. And then we're going to forget about it. And in 2025, a year from now, we're going to be in December of 2025. And we're going to say, remember the drones? Where's the drones? Did we get drones? Were there drones in New Jersey last year? Did we ever figure that out? And someone's going to say, no, I don't think so. And then someone's going to ask this question.
What are we doing?
And I think that'll be the end of it. I think that'll be the end of it. And that's where we're at. So last but not least, to end on a positive note here, we have got a Christmas movie tier list. I thought about it and I've broken it down. I've got the ultimate top 10. Now, I think it's the ultimate. I think you'll agree with me that it's the ultimate top 10 list. I'll explain why I chose each one briefly. Then we'll move on. We've got some honorable mentions, okay? And we've got this year's competition, okay? So for the last 20 years, the question has always been, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? And it's now been decided unanimously across the board, just like the vote to add 5 more what are we doing explosion buttons to the soundboard, that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. And so now that that's been decided, we've got one more, and I'll let you think about it before we get to the pros and cons and both sides of the argument. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Now, you can add all of the other Harry Potter films, at least like the beginning half, to that same list as well, because they kind of all fall under the same kind of category, I believe, all the Harry Potter films. So if one applies, then it's like a RICO case. The rest of them apply to the same vote. And the first one, of course, because it's just the friendliest, it's the nicest, and most people, kids to adults, can watch it and understand what's happening before you get into the complexity of Hogwarts and wizardry and spells and have to keep asking questions from, movies 2 to 8. And then inevitably, because of those questions, you just never finish the series with your loved ones who have never actually seen or heard of or read the books or know anything about the Harry Potter universe. So the first one is safe. And so we'll get to that in a minute. So top 10 movies of all time. We're going to go from 10 to 1, of course. Here we go. Then we'll get to some honorable mentions, and then we'll get the hell out of here. Number 10, okay? We had to throw this one on there because it's kind of traditional, kind of not, but it's just got that edge to it. We're talking Bad Santa, okay? Bad Santa is number 10 on the tier list for best Christmas movies of all time. Moving right along, we already mentioned it, number 9, Die Hard. Just a new fan. I'm a new fan of Die Hard. I watched it all the way through for the first time this year in 2024, but I am obsessed. I'm probably going to watch it again tonight. I like it, so it's definitely worthy of a top 10 list, but I put it at number 9 just because of its past controversy. I know it's been, cancel culture, not really a thing. So I know it's kind of made its own rise out from the ash of not being a Christmas movie, but we're still putting it at number 9. It's Die Hard. It's a great classic. It's a good thriller, action movie, Christmas all wrapped into one, the zingers, the whole thing, the mystery of it all, the ending, the final. And then of course is a beautiful open to what then becomes the rest of the Die Hard series. So that one alone, number 9. Number 8, we just turned this one on last evening, 4 Christmases. Okay, Vince Vaughn, Reese Witherspoon. I mean, the whole notion of lying about doing charity work in third world countries so you don't have to go to your family Christmases is 100% something my father did with us as children. He told the rest of the family, hey, we're flying the kids to Mexico. We're going to be doing good. We're going to be doing like work for the locals. We were just going on vacation. Jeff flew us out of the country for multiple Christmases. Multiple Christmases as a child. We didn't get to see the family. We didn't get the traditional gifts. We had to wait for all that a week later because Jeff and the stepmother decided to take us to Mexico for Christmas.
What are we doing?
Now, as a child, that would seem like, yeah, okay, fine. Looking back at it now, I fully understand. I fully understand the notion of not wanting to go to her parents, your parents, her parent, the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, the cousins, the gifts, the hundreds of dollars, the unnecessary shit. I don't want to go to the Christmases either, dude. And so I get it now. As a kid, it kind of F with us, but it's fine. So 4 Christmases, definitely on the list. Super funny. Number 7, just because, the only reason is simply because, hey, Matthew McConaughey.
What are we doing?
Ghost of Girlfriend's Past. It's a Christmas movie. Don't argue with me. Number 6, arguably, maybe one of the funniest on the list. Deck the Halls. Freaking Danny DeVito, the whole 9 yards, the house from space, the lake, the sled, the everything about this movie is hilarious. Deck the Halls, number 6 on the list, okay? Check it out if you haven't. Number 5 on the list, I almost forgot this one. I don't think we've watched it yet this year. Shame on me. Number 5, The Santa Claus. The original, the first one, that's it. That's the only one we recognize. We don't watch the second one. Sometimes we do if it's the only thing to put on, but we've never effed. No one messes with the third one. And whatever abomination they tried to do a miniseries TV show with Tim Allen on Disney Plus, but he's just a mean old man now, so no one wants to work with him anymore, that no one watched, we don't recognize that either.
What are we doing?
But needless to say, the timeless classic, The Santa Claus, is number 5 on the list. And then yet another timeless classic, number 4 on the list, Home Alone. You cannot go wrong with a good watch of Home Alone. You cannot go wrong. Honorable mention, it didn't make the top 10, but Home Alone 2, still pretty good. Still a solid contender, but number 4 on the list is Home Alone. I mean, Kevin McAllister, what Macaulay Culkin has done with his life, just an incredible performance. The story, Megs loves it because she just hates that they would be dead. Every time that Marv and the robbers would inevitably in real life actually be dead from the things that Kevin did to them in the movie, Megs loves pointing them out. Megs is that type of girl.
What are we doing?
And that's why we love her. That's why we're going to marry her, and that's why Home Alone is number 4 on the list. Number 3, who else could it be? It's Jim Carrey, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. We don't recognize any other versions. Like the original animated one, meh. The Illumination one with Benedict Cumberbatch or whatever his name is, meh. You know what I mean? It's just a Minions movie, but green. And so the only one we recognize is 2001, Jim Carrey, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It's fantastic. It has the most quotable lines. Everybody loves it. The Grinch has become this now societal staple of society that is just everywhere. I literally just ordered 2 inflatables, a Max, a Grinch, and an animatronic Grinch. I think it's downstairs right now. I got to put him out for the boy so he has him when he comes home for Christmas break. What an incredible father I am.
What are we doing?
And so we love the Grinch. Who doesn't love the Grinch? It has to be number 3. And number 2, we're going to get some slack for this, or some flack for it, but Megs and I, we love and are obsessed with, we'll turn it on 8 times throughout the year, 20 times during the season, and just an overall love and obsession for the movie Christmas with the Cranks. I mean, Luther Clark, Blair, Nora, Laura, it's just, they're all, the characters, Dan Aykroyd, the premise, skipping Christmas to save money and go on a cruise. It's 100% Levi's daddy move.
What are we doing?
This is 100% a Jeff move. Jeff saw Christmas with the Cranks, realized how much money he could save by flying his whole family to Mexico for an all-inclusive stay, because back in 2002, it's a hell of a lot cheaper than it is today. So why not take advantage of not having to buy anyone a Christmas gift, decorations, because we're going to leave before the tree goes up and we're going to come home after the tree should come down. Every time my father would have to put up a tree for Christmas, it wasn't 20 minutes until after the last gift was open. He was already putting Christmas decorations, Christmas ornaments off the tree away, put the lights away. By the time my stepmother's parents came over to the house to give us our gifts and eat Christmas dinner with us as a family, my father had half the house Christmas decorations done, put away and in the basement and locked up and ready to go for next year already.
What are we doing?
So Christmas with the Cranks is 100% a movie that runs in the bloodline. I mean, let's be honest, the man, he has his flaws, but it's fine. And then, of course, the number one movie of all time, it shouldn't be a spoiler for anybody on the list, but Christmas Vacation by National Lampoon holds up to the test of time. It's a classic. The jokes are timeless. The merch, the fan base, the viewings that people go to. Listen, y'all got to stop going to those viewings. These, like, every year during November and December, they'll play National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and then Chevy Chase will come out with his wife at 98 years old. The 98-year-old Chevy Chase will walk out on stage, sit in a chair, and just answer your bullshit questions. The same 6 bullshit questions that he gets asked every time, the same 6 questions they ask him in every city, the same 3 questions they ask him about Uncle Eddie, filming the movie, were the lights real, what happened, what was your experience with this? And he has to sit there and hold a microphone and say the same 6 stories over and over again. This man is just, it's as if he would need just a pod to walk into in the middle of the woods, in the middle of Switzerland, and it might be the best thing for him. But hey, it's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and we're getting as much money out of the franchise as possible. So if that means people need to pay $50 a ticket just to see and hear Chevy Chase talk for 30 minutes after they watch a movie they've already seen 150 times, bet your bottom dollar we're doing it, babe, because the grandkids need new iPads and new MacBook Airs for Christmas. So why not make a little extra dough on the side, stop at Cincinnati and do a little tour with the movie like we do every single year. And that's why National Lampoon Christmas Vacation is number 1 on the list. Now, that's the top 10. To get to the last and final arguments of the episode, and then I'll let you open gifts with your family, is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone a Christmas movie? Yes or no? Here's the arguments on both sides. In the yes column, for Christmas movie of the year, we've got major plot points happen during Christmas. If we take the Die Hard argument into effect, we then apply it to Harry Potter. It's Christmas time. That means it's a Christmas movie. So check there. The film's aesthetic and music wrap you in holiday cheer. You know when you see the candles and the Christmas trees and the Great Hall and the snow and the owl and the atmosphere, and you hear the jingles and you see the carriage with the horse-drawn sleigh and it's Hagrid dragging the big tree through the snow. It's a Christmas feeling. You feel like it's Christmas when you're watching it. It's a mental state. Checkbox number 2. Okay. Checkbox number 3, third and final argument. Harry's Christmas was about finding family and belonging. And if that isn't the true meaning of everyone's Christmas, if it's not, it fucking should be this year.
What are we doing?
Then I don't know what is. Your Honor, I rest my case. Harry's Christmas was ultimately about finding family and belonging. And hey, he accomplished that in the Sorcerer's Stone. Now, on the flip side of the argument, buckle up. We've got the no column, okay? The story isn't about Christmas. It has nothing to do with Christmas. The story is about friendship and adventure, and that can happen at any point in time. As a matter of fact, we get multiple seasons. It's winter, autumn, summer. We get pretty much a whole year, half a year's time while we're at Hogwarts in every movie. So if it's a Christmas movie, well then also isn't it an Easter movie because they've got springtime?
What are we doing?
Stories about friendship and adventure. Christmas is not the main event of the movie. Now, we could argue that Christmas isn't the main event of some of the movies on the top 10 list, let alone some of your favorite Christmas movies. So this one might fall through, but it's still a point checkbox for the no column, okay? Last but not least, the final argument. We got 3 on both sides. Not every movie with a Christmas scene is a holiday classic. Now, I would venture to say that this one automatically disqualified and Harry Potter automatically wins as a Christmas movie. The Sorcerer's Stone, yes or yes, because not every movie with a Christmas scene is a holiday classic, but there is a plethora of movies that are already on the holiday classics list that kind of sort of only have 1 or 2 maybe kind of hints at Christmas, but it's still considered a Christmas holiday classic.
What are we doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think in the comments down below. My name's Levi McCurdy. This has been episode 170. I hope you enjoy the holidays. If you're celebrating Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, spin the dreidel, open the gifts, have fun, enjoy it, be safe. When you're drinking this holiday season out of your moose cups, be safe with your family. Get there, be square, and get home. We love you. We can't wait to see you next week. I'll ask you, hey, let me know what you got for Christmas in the comments. What's on your Christmas list this year? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that button down below. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Let's go. Next week, we've got a full review, a full breakdown. It's probably going to take up the entire episode. Mr. Beast Games coming to an Amazon Prime account near you. Log in, start watching, get ready, because we address it all. We talk about the lawsuits. We talk about the conditions of living within the $14 million community he built for the show. We're breaking it all down next week on the What Are We Doing podcast. We're not stopping. Happy Christmas. Happy holidays. Merry Chrysler, everybody. We'll see you next week.
What are we doing?